There is a theory that pronunciation does not matter as long as you can get your point across, because you might lose your identity. So by learning how to correctly pronounce words and also the underlying intonation in every language on planet Earth, you could end up putting at risk your identity. Seriously, I find it extremely difficult listening to somebody in an attempt to extract a message which underlies their sentence, right? Because either the pronunciation is completely distorted or the intonation is completely wrong, which makes it sound really un-English, un-Russian, un-German, and so on and so forth. Also, I think that people whose pronunciation is really bad end up being stigmatized as less capable learners. Long story short, I could not learn a foreign language without paying particular attention to the pronunciation sector. When it comes to speaking skills, you're being assessed on grammatical accuracy, fluency, vocabulary, and of course also pronunciation. So I think pronunciation matters. Всем привет! Hallo, zusammen! Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Anastasia and I make videos to share my experiences with you guys. And specifically in today's video, we are going to continue talking about phonetics and phonology, a university course when I studied English to become an English teacher at LMU in Munich, Bavaria, Germany. Why should we bother about sounds? Because pronunciation is not the same as spelling. And this is particularly the case in English, where you've got a huge discrepancy between spelling and pronunciation, which of course has to do something with the fact that English is composed of so many languages: French, Latin, Scandinavian, Germanic, and each of them has played a role in English as such, right? As somebody who's learned German from zero to the current status quo, which I'd say goes beyond C2, I also have been learning English since I was in year 5, so I do have a little bit of an idea what I'm talking about here. And believe it or not, but I still sometimes get moments where I do have to pull up a chair, fire up my laptop, type in Cambridge Dictionary and then type in the word. Or if I don't have any access to the internet and I'm at home, then I would take this volume out and double check the pronunciation of, for example, phonology, right? Last week we talked about phonetics. Sorry guys, these are Cyrillic letters. I do not have these nice squares in English. So phonetica, phonetics. Phonetics is a discipline which is interested in the sounds and the sound system, also how sounds are articulated, where they are produced, how can we describe sounds, how can we transcribe sounds, which is the same as to say how can we make sounds visible in writing. By transcribing sounds, do we realize actually that we've been wrong in assuming that each letter corresponds to one sound? For example, look at this. In English, you have a few instances where you've got one sound and different spellings. In this case, you've got the sound E, the long front close sound E, and you've got AE as in Caesar, E as in B, EI as in receive, OE as in phoenix, double E as in sneeze, IE as in yield. Despite the spelling, they are all pronounced with the sound E, right? You have to learn the spelling of those words, and you also have to learn that each of them is pronounced the same way, right? And I'd argue that this discrepancy between pronunciation and spelling does not apply in the same extent to Russian, nor does it apply to German, so they are pronounced as they are spelled. In today's video, we are going to be focusing more on, let me swap those. We're going to be focusing more on phonology, phonologia. I thought I'd analyze one complete word, the word phonology, with you guys to show you exactly how you can use those distinctive features, and then I will also transcribe one sentence on this board with you, which is taken from a real exam paper, so a past exam paper. Okay, let's go. I've just transcribed the word phonology, and here are the symbols used by the International Phonetic Alphabet, and here you've got each of the phonemes that constitute this word. Okay, so based on our extensive knowledge of phonetics and phonology, let's analyze each of the phonemes using our distinctive features. Do you guys remember? We've got 5 distinctive features when it comes to consonants. We've got 6 distinctive features when it comes to vowels. Let's do it. F is a consonant, is a labiodental one, is a fricative one, is a fortis one, and what was the last one? It's a voiceless one. Voiceless one. Right, then we've got our schwa sound. There you have it in our oral cavity. So this vowel chart represents our mouth. Okay, so the schwa sound. As you might remember, this is a vowel. It's a monophthong. It's a central one. It's a half-close one. So how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 are missing. It's a something, and then we've got it's a short one. So what was the last feature? Oh, can't remember. Oh, okay. Unrounded. Unrounded. You know, have to train my memory a little bit. Right, the phoneme N consonant. So that we've got the place of articulation, N alveolar. Then we've got the manner of articulation, nasal, N. Third one is linis, and obviously it's voiced. Moving on to the pot sound, phonology. So if I'm not mistaken, the pot sound is somewhere here. Pot, pot, pot. Okay, anyway, a vowel, then it's a monophthong. Pot, it's a back one. It's a pot, open one. Pot, it's a, I'd say, unrounded pot, and it's a short one. Then we've got the phoneme L, which is a consonant, L alveolar, lateral. Then we have linis and voiced. Okay, then we've got the schwa sound again. So we've got the characteristics here. Then we've got a very interesting one, an G sound. So we've got consonant, we've got j. So the place of articulation is palatal, alveolar. J. We've got affricate, which means it's a plosive plus a affricate, so j and ch. And then we also have, of course, it's a fortis one, and it's a j, voiced one. And then we've got the non-phonemic e, which is not analysed, if I'm not mistaken, because it's not in the vowel chart. Okay, there you have it. The distinctive features put in practice. You guys know that phonemes are abstract units. In the real world, the phoneme P can have different realizations. We can have two different P's. If I put a superscript H in the first phonetic transcription. So, aspirated P in English is usually the initial position in a word, like in pin, as opposed to in spin. Okay? Pin as opposed to spin. This positional variants are also known as allophones, which are complementary distributed. Okay, so the allophones are complementary distributed. Okay, so these allophones, they are complementary distributed. This means their phonological environment is predictable. The phoneme P and any other phoneme can also have some free variants. A good example would be the phoneme R. The phoneme R can have several realizations. So, this one would be the post-alveolar R, as in work, in terms of the RP, so the received pronunciation, right? Or it can also be realized as the uvular triller, or in German Zäpfchen R, like in Arbeit. Okay, so the uvular R is practiced in German and in French, apart from Bavaria. Because in Bavaria we do have the third variant, free variant, which is, can I get it right? Yes, this one. So-called Zungenspitzen R. Zungenspitzen R is practiced in Bavarian, is practiced in Scottish English, Irish English, Welsh English, and in Russian. Работа. So guys, whether or not the phoneme P is realized as an aspirated one or as a non-aspirated one, depending on its position in the word, or whether or not the phoneme L is realized as a clear L, as in lip, or as a dark L, as in pill, depending on its position in the word. Speaking of allophones here, which have to be complementary distributed, also whether or not the phoneme R is realized as a post-alveolar one, as a uvular triller, or as in Russian, this does not affect the meaning of the word. There is no change in the meaning. When we're interested in phonemes, and we know that phonemes are the smallest meaning distinguishing unit in a language, we can do a test. The test is called a minimal pair test. So this method is used to determine phonemes, okay? As opposed to allophones, for example, okay? So we use minimal pairs These minimal pairs differ only in one sound. Apart from that, they consist of an identical sequence of sounds. The most popular one is this one. Okay, pin versus bin. These two words differ in only one sound. Apart from that, you've got an identical sequence of sound. So these two are phonemes. Fizzy as opposed to fuzzy. And short E and a fuzzy. I will show you now my compilation of minimal pairs, because whenever I am reading something and I encounter a different, an interesting word, I would then make a mental note that, oh, I think I've encountered a similar one. Is there a difference in meaning? I would then double check it, and if there is, I would extend my list of minimal pairs. Okay, let's do it now. I am currently transcribing one sentence in English from a real past exam paper in spring 2015. Okay, so this sentence, the narrow range of communication for Indians on the mobile web has largely been ignored. Web has largely been ignored. When I make a pause, I use one vertical bar, okay, as I've shown you in the last video. I would use one slash to begin my transcription, and then another one, as you can see here, to end my transcription, one vertical bar to signal a pause, and two vertical bars to signal that my sentence ends here, for example. Okay, so this is the first draft of my transcription. Then, of course, I would use my best friend, the pronunciation dictionary, when it comes to its transcription. Okay, and then I would double check every word which I'm not comfortable with or which I am suspicious of. For example, in this case, I think I have to double check the word been, so the past participle. I've just double checked the transcription for the word been. I'm talking about the past participle, been, okay? And I am right, we do need the so-called weak form here, because the sentence stress falls on ignored, so has largely been ignored, okay? So you do need a weak form here. However, it could also be realized as a strong form with a long E, right? The more often you get into the habit of transcribing, then it becomes second nature and you sort of do it on autopilot. Good luck with that. Okay, that's it from me for today. I hope it's been helpful. Please let me know in the comments section down below if you think that pronunciation is important whilst learning a foreign language. I'd love to hear back from you. I hope it's been inspiring, and I also hope that you've learned something from it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up to let me know that you like this content, and also consider subscribing to my channel because it really supports my channel. Всем пока! Tschüss zusammen! Bye guys! I'll see you all next week.